Hello everybody, what is up? Prof Toast here. As you can see, today we're going to be doing another unboxing, building, and review. This time we're going to be doing an older Gundam kit. This one's the Master Grade Master Gundam from G Gundam. So this is of course one of my favorite series, and yes, it is an older kit, so it's most likely going to have the standard screw joints, rubber hands, and bottom of the feet. Actually, I don't mind those ones, those are pretty cool, but yeah. This is one I picked up last year for, I think, yeah, it shows right here, 35 bucks, so honestly not really an expensive kit. So I'm going to go ahead and build it, and then afterwards I'll tell you guys what my final thoughts are on this kit, what I liked, what I didn't like. So let's go ahead and get to it.
that.
Alright, so here we are with the finished kit right here. As you can see, he definitely came out pretty cool. Like I said, first I'm just gonna kinda do a little overview of the figure, then I'll show you guys some of the accessories that it came with. So yeah, right at the bat, basically he was pretty cool figure. It did have some very light decaling. They didn't really say where to put the stickers, so it's kind of just up to you on where you want to put it. So as you can see, he kind of got a few of them right there. It did kind of like his little symbol on the side of the leg, and then of course the back of the wings has some little custom decaling that it did. So oh no, not too bad. I think I did like a couple on the chest right here. This is Master Asia, and it has its number right there. So yeah, definitely a pretty cool one. Some of the accessories you get, as you can see, the hands right here are all basically rubber and everything. And of course he has one that can grip his little cloth, as well as you get a pretty decent amount of hands. So just for the rubber hands, you get all these ones. I want to focus right here. But yeah, so you get some different poses you can do, some regular hands, some more of his martial arts and all that. And another cool piece that it does come with is these little wires. So that one, as you guys saw from the pictures, you can kind of do the little where he's shooting off his hand, so you can do those kind of effects. And they give you one long piece, so you can kind of cut it to whatever length you want to do. So honestly, it's a pretty cool little part effect. And then on top of those rubber hands, we also get kind of like the shining finger kind of hands. So yeah, you get one where he's kind of gripping it that way. You get one that looks like kind of like more of a regular hand. And then what was it? Of course, yeah, you get some of them that are ball joint, some of them that are kind of like, if I can focus in real quick, some like this where it just literally just sticks in because he's basically going to be, you know, pushing his hand forward like that. So all in all, definitely pretty cool. And then they also come with a bunch of different little pieces that will basically kind of go over the front of the hand like so. But yeah, all in all, it's definitely pretty cool. And of course, yeah, I don't usually paint these, so I just kind of did like a very small amount of panel lining to the little Master Asia figure they give you. One of these days I will have to try to get into painting and experiment maybe with these ones, but we shall see. But all in all, definitely pretty cool. So yeah, things I did like about this kit, like I said, it had those cool effects. I do actually kind of like these fingers just because you can get some cool details on these, and especially with holding stuff like this, it's pretty secure, so you don't have to worry about it falling out. And I also do kind of like how the bottom part's rubber, because it kind of gives your Gundam just a little bit of grip strength to it, so not too bad. Another cool parts too is the way they use some of the rubber pieces basically in his belt area. These are kind of held in there, so he's got a little bit of flexibility to him, so it's actually kind of a cool little effect. So I kind of actually do like how they did that. So yeah, as for paneling, there's not a lot you can do. Like I said, I did some details in the face, and of course how to do all the wings and everything, and then yeah, his shoulders. But since he's more of a darker Gundam, he doesn't have like a lot of panel line to go through. But yeah, all in all, for a $35 kit, he's actually not half bad, and it's actually a pretty decent one. But of course, this is an older kit, so there will, you know, be some drawbacks to it. So some light nitpicks on this kit is his little parts for his feet. These are really loose and like to pop out, so those can kind of be annoying too if you're trying to pose him a lot. Some of the stuff with the panel lining, it's a little, you have to be a little bit more detailed and take more time with, because like some of the wings were good, but some of the top coat did kind of smudge it, and these were harder too because it's not really super defined lines and they're more rounded, so it's real easy for the pen to just kind of slip, and then you're basically redoing it multiple times. So the panel lining can be a little difficult, specifically on the wings. Like it took me a few tries just to get it, you know, darkened and looking nice and everything. But all in all, I think it definitely came out pretty well. As for the screw parts, it wasn't too bad. He mainly has the screws in the waist, his ankles, the knees, and that. So yeah, I'm slightly glad that some of the newer kit, or most every newer kit, kind of moved away from that because yeah, sometimes it can be a little much, and then of course you always have the risk of maybe one of the screws stripping and all that. But all in all, it's not too bad. Like I said, all the actual limbs feel pretty secure because if you tightened enough, then yeah, you don't have to worry about them loosening up or anything. So all in all, definitely a pretty cool little kit. It's definitely worth checking out. Then yeah, especially with the G Gundam line and everything. I do hope that maybe one day for the master grades we will get some modernized ones, but all in all, these ones you can usually find between $30 to $35. So if you're a fan of G Gundam and want to experiment with some older type kits, these are definitely a pretty cool one to mess around with. Alright, so yeah, that's about it for this video. So yeah, other thing I forgot to mention is if you do build this kit and you see extra screws at the end, don't worry, that's normal, you didn't miss anything. So yeah, I did notice it because when I went back to go look at the parts for my God Gundam, I did notice that I did also have screws left over in that one. And for some reason, the small runner where you got the little joint pieces, there were still spare pieces on that one, so I don't know what those are for, but yeah, it might be one of those ones, maybe it's for, you know, combining them, making them fight with the other figures, I don't know, because we did have a previous Gundam one, I forgot which one it was. I think it was the Shin Musha Gundam, but that one also had spare parts and they don't really, you know, explain why they're spare parts, but who knows. But yeah, another thing I forgot to mention too is this one can be a little hard to get the pose stably. So one handy thing is if you use his wings and kind of pose them correctly, it can kind of act as like a little counterweight to basically hold him up so that way he doesn't topple over too easy. So that can be one little drawback depending on how you pose it, so that will depend. But all in all, like I said, definitely a pretty good kit. I don't know if you guys had any experience building any of these G Gundam ones and you guys had any gripes or stuff that you liked about it, let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, all in all, like I said, for $30 to $35, these are actually pretty nice little kits, and it's kind of fun just to mess around with some of these older kits and see kind of what stuff they were doing back then. But that's about it for this video. If you guys did like this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, if you guys are new here, we do a lot of stuff like unboxings, let's plays. We're currently doing Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core right now, as well as sometimes we'll do some like older PS2 stuff or other systems. And then yeah, of course we'll occasionally do stuff like building models, either Figure Eye Standard or Gunpla. But yeah, if those things that interest you, make sure to subscribe to the channel to see more. But all in all, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.